Tuesday morning. Joining us now, as always, the president of the oldest and the boldest and most cussed, most discussed civil rights organization, the NAACP, with the voice of Detroit's own Aretha Franklin. Detroit's own son, Derrick Johnson, is here. Derrick, good morning, man. How are you?
Good morning, Mark. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. Where are you? Where are you traveling right now?
I'm in Jackson, Mississippi, about to walk into the gym as soon as we get off the phone.
Amen. So, Derrick, I'm real worried about Georgia, man. Where are we on that? Is the NAACP involved in any of these suits in Georgia?
Absolutely. The original lawsuit that was filed, we partnered with the Lawyers Committee, and we filed that original lawsuit. I'm worried about Georgia, not only the lawsuits and the non-process application, just turnout. We have to turn out in mass number. We cannot take anything for granted. We can't assume that it's won, because nothing is over until every vote is counted and the election is certified.
Yeah. So when is there did I hear there's a hearing that's going to be taking place today or tomorrow, or am I wrong about that?
There will be a hearing soon. I don't know. I can't remember whether it is today or tomorrow. I will verify with our general counsel. But it's serious. I mean, it's serious in Georgia, it's serious in several states, including Shelby County, Tennessee. We have a problem with individuals trying to suppress the vote. But how do you address vote suppression? You increase turnout. So, whatever the outcome is for the hearings and the legal procedures around this, we must increase turnout. So I want to emphasize turnout, because if we get stuck hoping that filing a lawsuit, the outcome of the lawsuit will be timely to process some papers to get people to vote, we'll lose. Turnout is key. We need beyond Obama-level turnout in Georgia, in Mississippi for the Senate race here, in Florida for the governor race there, in Maryland, all across the country to overcome any issues of vote suppression.
In Mississippi, where you reside, Mike Espy, I mean, if there's turnout of African Americans in Mississippi, Mike Espy has a real shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has a real shot. We can address a congressional seat here. We can address another Senate seat. Everything is open for a new reality. That's what's the most, interesting and energizing point of this election cycle. Everything is on the table. We can't assume what was will be, because what will be is what we make it, and that's through turnout.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and that's critical. That absolutely must happen. Derrick Johnson with us. The NAACP announced not too long ago a major civic engagement campaign aimed to increase long-term black voter turnout. Derrick, tell us more about that, if you would.
Absolutely. If you look at voting habits in this country, for all communities, the high watermark for turning out to vote is presidential election, and one of the low watermarks is midterm election. We're in a midterm election cycle. So NAACP, knowing that and going deep into the data and identifying where are the pockets of opportunity, we are putting paid canvassers and volunteers on the ground in targeted areas to increase turnout, so we can get people who vote during presidential elections to turn out for this midterm election. If we match presidential level turnout in targeted areas, we will wake up the day after the election a stronger, more focused population to deal with this current landscape of intolerance, to deal with the potential that we have an unindicted co-conspirator in the White House who helped a foreign nation to subvert democracy and undermine our election process, to deal with all of the shifting in tax policy, taking money out of our pocket, put it in their pocket, to deal with the question of respect. This presidency, this current political landscape don't respect us as a African-American community, and we must push back. And in a democracy, the pushback is with the vote.
That's right. We've got to get everyone out to vote. That's absolutely critical, ladies and gentlemen. Also, something that the NAACP tweeted just a few hours ago, and I just want to lift this up because I think it's important for us to acknowledge. We're now experiencing full effect of the voting rights decision from earlier this year to allow purging of voters from the rolls. Stark reminder that courts have huge say in who participates in our democracy. We're seeing that purge decision. We're seeing it manifest right now, and that's why voting is important, because it affects who's on the court, Derrick.
Absolutely. We would not have what we're seeing, particularly in jurisdictions that was covered by Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act, that was struck down by the Supreme Court in a decision called Shelby versus Holder. We would not see this had that decision not been handed down in that manner. Elections have consequences, and judges can determine the outcome of elections if the rulings go against the interests of the communities that we represent.
Right.
And therefore we need to turn out the vote so we can ensure that these lifetime appointments don't sit on the federal bench causing havoc on our children's lives and our lives.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Also, Derrick, the NAACP is involved in even more partnerships with a number of activists and grassroots groups. In fact, I believe I'm looking for it now. I believe you had made the statement not too long ago. Here it is. Social justice is not a competition, and as the nation's oldest civil rights organization, the NAACP has a duty to bring together all the different groups and organizations that have played a crucial role in uplifting the black community. Talk to us about some of the memoranda of understanding that the NAACP has signed recently.
But we want to make it clear that all of our traditional organizations and institutions in the black community, whether it's the National Baptist Convention of America or USA, whether it is the AME or the AMEZ CME, the Divine Nine, a.k.a. Delta Sigma Theta, Omega Psi Phi, all of our organizations, Sigma Gamma Rho, all of them are part of our reality. It is not about one group competing against another group. Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson or Mark Larrell, Sherilyn Ifill, Christian Clark, we are part of one big African-American family, and we are charged with the responsibility to create an atmosphere so that our elderly will be cared for. We're charged with the responsibility to ensure that our children will have a prosperous future and provided a quality education. We're charged with the responsibility to protect the right of the disadvantaged and to protect the right of our community writ large. And in doing that, the NAACP say, let's put this on paper. Let's define how we're going to operate together, particularly during this election cycle. Social justice is not a competition. It is an opportunity for all of us to add our voices in ways in which we can complement each other. We can do it in a collaborative way, and we can ensure that the outcomes that we pursue is something that we achieve.
Yeah, no question about it. This reminds me, Derrick, and you sound like another figure in our history who was talking in just those terms in 1964 and 1965 before his untimely death, when he formed something called the Organization of Afro-American Unity for the express purpose of all of our different groups and all of their different work to come together, even though we may not agree on every fine point, but to still try to work toward unity. Someone else from where you grew up, Detroit, that was Malcolm X. So you kind of in that territory, my brother.
Well, it is a territory that we all need to stay. If you go to at NAACP right now, you'll see a video on there from Bishop T.D. Jakes encouraging people to go out to vote.
That's right.
You and I, we were at the Aretha Franklin funeral, and we see a display of unity that only the Queen of Soul could pull together.
Yes,
on one end of that pulpit, you had Minister Louis Farrakhan. On the other end, you had Bishop T.D. Jakes. And in between there, you had the leadership and the conscience of the African-American community representing many points of views, representing many avenues to achieve the same goal, but all of us sat on that stage recognizing the unity of the whole. And that's what this is about. We must recognize the unity of the whole. And if you decide to take one avenue to get there and I decide to take another avenue, it is out of love of our community that we're pursuing whatever course that we decide to pursue. And if we do what we're supposed to do right, we will end up in the same place.
Folks, again, text NAACP to 40649. And speaking of T.D. Jakes, we actually had that short message now. Derrick, man, I want our audience to hear that. This is Bishop T.D. Jakes, folks, on behalf of himself and NAACP.
Hello, I'm Bishop T.D. Jakes. I am a black person living in America. Like you, the decisions politicians make and the tone they set directly affect my life, our lives. This election, our lives are on the ballot. It is our duty to vote. On Tuesday, November the 6th, let's choose governors, council members, district attorneys, legislators, and a Congress that will best represent us and our interest. Vote. Our lives depend on it. Visit naacp.org/vote or text NAACP to 40649 to get more information.
Our lives most certainly do depend on it. Congratulations on that, Derrick, and that's what unity looks like, my brother.
I mean, how else can we be a prosperous people if we don't respect each other and our points of view? This is not about finding nuances and distinctive differences. This is about looking at opportunities where we do agree, and in that exercise in areas where we can execute positive outcomes. And we have no time for anything else but a united front.
When our vote is suppressed, when they suppress our vote, when the police harass us and brutalize us, they don't ask us what organization we're in or what church we go to, what denomination, what fraternity or sorority we're in. We're just black folk. And so we've got to come together in this way. Text NAACP to 40649. Every soul to the polls, folks. And as Derrick said, at this hour, we're in the courts, but at this hour, the way to beat suppression is with overwhelming turnout. So this is urgent that everybody get out to early vote who can, and that everybody vote on November 6th. The president of NAACP has been our guest, the oldest civil rights organization founded in 1909, Derrick Johnson. Thank you, my brother. Enjoy that workout, man.
Hey, brother, you can stay strong, stay focused, and stay on message.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Derrick.
All right.
Love to the family, man. All right. All right, folks. We'll take it to the top. We'll be right back. Get your calls. Don't hang up, Jerry in Texas. Sirius XM Progress 127 Resistance Radio. Get woke and vote. Get ready for impeachment. Get out the vote. This is MIP.